Lapland, southern Finland. And when we moved to this place, a few weeks later, when I was drinking coffee in the morning, I looked out from the window and there was 5 white-tailed deers walking on the yard. From that I got an idea that why not 2 reindeers, because we have a lot of space around here. But we forgot the idea in that time. 2 years later my father called me. He's going to get retired and he's going to give up from his reindeers, and he said that he has very tame reindeers if I would like to have now. So we took few reindeers here just for fun, to make some reindeer drive to the lake, to make ice fishing and so on. But our dog got jealous. It didn't like that there was another kings in the house. So in one morning it went and bite all the ropes from the reindeer and pushed them out from the field. Our neighbor came us in Christmas morning at 7 o'clock. Is it your reindeers which are over there in the field? We had to run through the forest 20 kilometers to Hämeenlinna. They went through the city and they were on the motorway. But they got so much publicity from that. There were so many newspapers, radios, television telling about it, and people started to call us. Is it possible to come here to see the reindeers, to feed them, to try them? So that's how we decided to build the Reindeerpark. So it was not our idea, it was our reindeers and our dog idea.
Did you get them all back, or did some get hurt?
We got them all back.
Oh.
Yeah, there was 3 of them, but now we have 16. Like, we have also 2 babies which are 1 month old. They were born a month ago. And now we're going to look at the reindeers. They are very kind animals. They won't attack to the people, but they're growing their antlers right now. And when we give you some food, what you can give for the reindeers, they are seeking for the food with their big antlers. So be careful of your face about the antlers. They are all vegetarian. They don't eat meat, so you don't need to be afraid of your fingers. They will take it very carefully with their lips from your hand. So, well, welcome to Reindeerpark. Let's go look at the reindeers.
You're too shy.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you try Tina? Yeah, no? Are you trying? No, I'll take a picture of you with the reindeer. They're not dangerous in this one. No, but I'm going to have a picture of you. You need to stand like that. Yeah, we have. No, I don't
I think the rest is for me.
Yeah. It's like chocolate for the reindeers. It's specially developed for the reindeers with pellets.
Oh, sorry. You that?
Yeah.
It almost looks like the wood pellets I use for my cat.
Hey. Both of you. Both. Just one. Just one.
That's enough.
Now is it enough for that?
Little mer. Ska du titta?
And when the antlers are full grown, they begin to dry. And when they're drying, then they're dickling, then they go and scrub velvet off against the trees. And females have their antlers a bit later ready. And males drop off the antlers in November, December after mating season. They need their antlers only in the mating season when they want to get the biggest herd of female around them. So then they fight against other males. Then after mating season, males drop their antlers and females drop their antlers in May, about a week later when they have got the babies. So first days when the baby is very small and weak, they can protect the baby with the antlers. But there's also another really good reason why males and females lose the antlers in different time. In winter there can be a lot of snow in Lapland. Females are smaller and they're weaker. They don't have maybe enough power to dig the snow away with their feet to find the food. But they're clever. They know that males don't have antlers, and they have. So they look when males are digging the snow to find the food, and just when males find the food, then come female, push male off. This is my place, I tear, you go away. Females are pregnant in winter, so they need more energy than males. And the pregnancy is about 8 months. When baby is born, it's about 3.5 kilos. Very cute, small baby. But in the beginning, reindeer calves drink only their mother's milk. And reindeer milk has 27% fat and protein. It's really strong stuff. So after 1 month, the baby's weight can be already 20 kilos.
Wow.
Summer in Lapland is short. Next winter is coming soon. So it's very easy to understand why they have to grow very fast to be strong enough to survive all the winter season. Summer reindeers normally eat everything what is green, leaves, grass, whatever grows in a forest. In autumn, their main food is mushrooms. Main of their winter extra energy they get from mushrooms in autumn. Then the fat comes around their back, and that's most the energy what they use in winter season, because in winter they eat lichen, which is a white moss on the ground, and from the lichen they just get most important minerals that they need, but they really don't get a lot of energy from it. These reindeers get these pellets every day, what we have here in the park. Then they get freely hay whenever they want. And also we give them lichen, because with lichen it keeps their stomach working better. They are ruminants like cows, so they eat their food twice. And if they don't get lichen every day a little bit, their stomach won't work anymore and they can't use the energy what they get from food. So that's why it's necessary to get lichen a little bit every day.
What is lichen?
Lichen, fläkten. The white moss on the ground.
Jaha, ja, mossa.
Mossa, yeah.
Alltså,
Yeah.
regnmosor kan man
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Reindeer
And the hair of the reindeer is hollowed. It has kind of air canals inside. That's why it's very good insulation against the coldness. Even the temperature can be over minus 50 degrees in Lapland. The reindeers can survive outside. That's why it has been very popular and is still today to make clothes from reindeer fell. But Sami people never slaughter reindeer to get their fell. They want to get the meat, but when they slaughter reindeer, they use everything. Also their fells, the antlers, the bones, everything is in what is used.
To be strong.
Yeah, they are fighting who gets there here.
Because I think they left their mother best.
Yes. And every reindeer belongs to someone. There isn't any wild reindeers left anymore. The owner of the reindeer, you can see from the reindeer's ears. The way how the ears are cut tells the owner. It's not mark of the family, it's mark of the owner. Every member of the family have their own ear marks and own reindeers. Usually when child gets the first teeth, he will get or she will get the first reindeer. Then every Christmas, birthday, parents, grandparents, godparents give few cows for the child. And when they're adult, they already got their own little herd and can continue the living from reindeer herding. And one very different thing also with the reindeer is that now they have lashes. But in autumn, before the snow comes, they will drop the lashes away, because in winter they would get on ice, but in summer it protects their eyes against the mosquitoes and flies. Normally, reindeers collect into the big group, because in summer, because inside the big group the smell of the urine gets so strong that mosquitoes and flies can't come there. Then it's easy for reindeer herders to put these groups together into the fence and have a calf marking. So I think the reindeer herders are only people in the world who love mosquitoes, because otherwise they wouldn't catch the reindeers together for calf marking. Then in autumn, big males collect females together. One really big male can have over 300 females around him. And again, it's easy for us to put these groups together into the fence and have a separation where we separate the reindeers to different families. So the families can look after their herd over the winter season. We don't need to feed them, they can find the food themselves. But if we feed them, first of all, reindeers are very lazy animals. If they know that they get easy food from someplace, they won't go far away. It's easier to keep them together. But also, if first comes very shiny, warm days, and then the nights are very cold, then snow can be so hard that the reindeers won't smell anymore through the snow where the food is, and they are doing work but they don't find food. And if we quickly change their diet, they die. But if they have used to eat this extra food every day a little bit, it's easier to give this extra food if there's very bad days for the reindeers. The reindeer's maximum age is about 20 years. I know some reindeers have lived almost 30 years, but about 20 years is the maximum age. And like here we have one reindeer which is now retired. He's 15 years old, Uti, the dark one there, the big one. He has been retired already 2 years, so we don't drive anymore with this animal. But he will live as long as it's possible for him. He has done already his work and he's very cute. So, next we are going to teach you how to catch reindeer with the lasso. But in this time we don't catch these living reindeers which are running, as they normally are when we are doing this. Our reindeer is there standing, waiting that you catch it. And lasso, what we call suopunki, is still the most important tool for the reindeer herder. When we want to catch reindeer from the separation, when we want to catch reindeer from the forest, we still use lasso. And if you come to this side, it's easier, you can see better. And for the women, I have a small trick, because we don't always have enough power here, so we use our body. Push our body a little bit down and push more power with the body when you do lasso.
Oh. So som morfar, the cup is for drinking drink.
What's next?
Men ingen av damene som gjør? Du vil det? Ok.
Like this. Right back. Here. Back to the reindeer. Put the body down, and there it goes. Oh, very good. No, it's exactly right. Because normally reindeers, when they're running, you have to throw the lasso in the front of them. Yeah, okay. Exactly right.
Yes.
Ja, det har vært løst horn. Ja, de mister hornet hvert år. Hvert år mister de hornet. Sånn. Ja, sånn da.
Ja.
Bit of course.
A bit at a time.
Then he was running, so you
Yeah,
could,
yeah.
And next,
A little bit at a time.
Yeah.
Do you want to try, Alex? Vil du prøve? Nei.
A bit closer.
Er du for liten, tror du?
so if there's no one who wants to try anymore, then next we go to the lapis stand. I touch the reindeer, but it's difficult to hold it. Yeah, because they're pushing.
Alexandra,
Yeah.
Every direction, I think.
Yes, that's true.
Wow.
Jo, men jo. Dames have picture.
So please take a seat. You can take a seat behind the tables. So when you take the seats, we are going to start serve you tea and coffee with a lapis coffee cheese. In autumn time, in summer it was impossible to take milk to the forest when we were herding reindeer, so we used to make milk cheese from reindeer milk. Today we don't milk reindeers anymore, so we make the same cheese from cow milk. We put this cheese into the cup, hot coffee or tea on it. It doesn't melt, it just gets soft and tasty and gives the taste of milk to your coffee and tea. And when it's soft, you can eat it like that. Is this the cheese? So, this was the way how it develops, usually in autumn time, in the lapis pen. Of course, the pens were much smaller than this one, as huge as this one. It was very easy to fix it up, take it down to the new place and fix it up again. In the beginning it was reindeer bells around, but today we use this clothing. We don't anymore use reindeer bells. The fireplace in the middle works in many ways. It is the lamp, it gives light to the tent. It's cooking place, it's very easy to cook food in there. Also, it gives warmness to the tent, and in summer the smell of smoke keeps mosquitoes and flies away from here. When people stay overnight in a lap tent, the smell of smoke comes to their body, to the clothing, to the hair, and when they go outside, the flies and mosquitoes doesn't like that anymore. So this is maybe one reason how the Sami people have survived in Lapland with all the mosquitoes. I come from the family where my mother is Mountain Sami. She comes from the border of Norway and Finland. And my father is Lake Sami. He comes a little bit more southern Lapland. That's why our home language was Finnish, because it was not possible to speak these two Sami languages together. Like word thank you in my mother language is lihtu, in my father language takka. Many times the words can be same, but the meaning of the word is completely different. So in the beginning they tried to speak Sami language together, but for example when my father asked my mother, please could you take this small boat around the island? My mother was wondering why she has to run over hill with a plate. But maybe that's why their marriage has been so happy already over 40 years, but they haven't understood each other too well. So good for that. Also, the costumes look different. I'm wearing Mountain Sami costume and my husband is wearing Inari Sami, Lake Sami costume. In Mountain Sami costume there isn't so much yellow, and also in decoration there's no green color, just red and a little bit yellow. Then the Western Mountain Sami people usually have very decorated costume, and usually when you see tourist pictures from Lapland, you see these Western Mountain Sami with a lot of decoration. In my family, I spoke my mother language, and my brother spoke father language. So they could talk with the father, I could talk with mother, and together we speak Finnish. Still in a time when my parents went to school, it was not allowed you to speak Sami language in the school. It was forbidden. Maybe because all the teachers were Finnish and they didn't understand the word of Sami language. But you can imagine how difficult it was for the child like my mother and my father, who first time even heard Finnish language when they went to school. And they remember that when they went to school, if they by mistake say just one word in Sami language, they had to stand 3 hours in a corner, and in the rest of the day they didn't get food. So when we were born, in the beginning they didn't want to speak Sami language to us at all, because they thought that we will survive better in our life if we speak just Finnish. But times were changing. When we went to school, we already had the chance to take Sami lessons in the school, in mountain Sami. Now our children, we have daycare centers, especially for Sami children. In school, our children can choose if they want to study in Finnish or in Sami language. Also in the University of Oulu, it's possible to graduate in Sami language. And today you can say it's kind of fashion to be Sami and to speak Sami language.
And Sweden also.
Yeah, so it's changed a lot from that time. Still, today the Sami culture is very strong, and now when the young people are very proud of their culture, it's getting stronger and stronger. Even young people, this is not our everyday costume. When you go to Lapland, you will see people with jeans and jacket in normal costumes. People live in normal common houses with electricity, TV, video, internet, so on. So nobody lives anymore in this kind of tent. But when we have some special occasions like weddings or some parties, people are wearing this costume because they are very proud of them. And also there's the new modern costumes today. And also the Lapis songs are, now we have a new modern Lapis songs like jazz or rap or rock, Sami rocks and so on. So people are taking it back in the way it was. So today we still use these tents when we have to stay a few nights in a forest, like when we are herding our reindeers and we want to stay a few nights in the forest. We stay overnight in the lap tent because it's very comfortable, it's very cozy and warm to be inside. You can go wherever you want. When you see a beautiful lake or a beautiful river, you can put your lapis tent close to that and enjoy the view and rest in the quiet of Lapland. Today the difference between mountain Sami and lake Sami is not so big anymore. It's only the language and the costume, but in olden time the big difference were much bigger. In olden time the mountain Sami were nomads with thousands of the reindeers traveling up to the northern coast to the summer, in winter back to the mountains. And they had to start to live in permanent houses in the beginning of 19th century when the border were closed and they had to choose are they Norwegian, Swedish or Finnish. Lake Lapis people started to live a lot earlier in permanent houses because they used to get their living from fishing and hunting. They had only few reindeers in the family to get milk and for traveling. So in a time when Christianity came to Lapland, it was very easy to find them, and that was still time that everything that was unknown was something bad and something evil. So also Sami language were evil language, and the way of singing was evil, which was trying to cut off them. But that was the time when in Europe, if the women didn't know how to read or write or paint, they were witches and burned because of that. So, but lucky, now we know more, we are more acceptable for new cultures. to new people, and so we let the people be more what they are, and we are not afraid of that anymore. Also, mountain Lapis people, they saved their culture much better because it was really difficult for church to find them. If they find in 1 year, they didn't find them anymore in next year. So over 90% of the Sami people in whole Scandinavia are mountain Sami. Also, they saved the way of their singing, joik, which is a traditional way of singing. And from my mother, I've also learned to sing joiks. Sometimes, like she was sitting nearby the river and she made joik of the river. Sometimes she looked out from the window when my father was working outside the house, and she made joik of my father. So the joik were a way to tell stories when people had seen something special. If they met some special person which means something for them, they made joik of it. So it was a way to tell stories. Also, there was a good joik to get good luck for something, like good luck for fishing, for hunting. Also, if some people get sick, they used to use drums and joik to try to get healing to that person. I have here a special drum which is made of birch pearl and reindeer leather. And there's a quite nice story of this drum because my husband went to Lapland and he asked my little brother to make drum for me because my little brother is making very beautiful drums. And when he came back, he told me about that. And I was thinking that they're really nice looking, the drums what my little brother makes. But I really would like to get a drum like my mother's first drum. 3 weeks later, my mother and father came here, and my mother has told my little brother, don't do that, I will take this beside me. This is my mother's first drum. And there's so many stories in this drum. There's so many joiks what my mother has made with these drums, so I think there's some kind of magic in this drum. The first joik I'm going to take is very old. Some shaman of 300 years ago has get good luck for bear hunting with this joik. There was a symbol in this drum. The shaman used to have symbols here, so when he put a small piece of bone in the middle and started to drum, the symbol was moving. The bone was moving to different symbols. In this way, he could see, is it good time to move the reindeer herd? Is it good time to go for fishing? And he also asked from the spirit world, if someone was sick, what he can do for him. Now the same symbols you see on the tables. And in my family, my mother's grandmother has been the last shaman. And shaman was not just a magical man looking for the spirit world and doing magical things. She was also a lady who knew the right plans against the different sicknesses. So all over the area, people came to her when they had some problems. Unfortunately, she was married with a man who worked for the church. So he allowed her to make the treatments, but he didn't allow her to teach anything to her children. And it's a pity because a huge knowledge went down in that time. Today it's so easy to go to apotheke to buy some medicine, but there's so many good plants in the forest that you can take to different sicknesses. But of course we got some tips from our grandmother. When, for example, last summer I was in Lapland, and it was Friday evening, 8 o'clock. I got a terrible headache, and I couldn't even sleep, and I thought, wow, it's 80 kilometers to the nearest apotheke, and it's opening next Monday. Oh. And then I remember that my grandmother said when I was a little girl that if I get a headache or pain in my hand or wherever, if I take a piece of willow which grows near the lakeside or the riverside and start biting that, it helps. So I went to the lake shore, take a piece of willow, I started to bite it. Just 15 minutes later, the headache was gone. So it really works. And I've noticed also, when reindeers lose their antlers, it's bleeding a little bit, and if it's winding, it's hurting their head. So they also go and start eating willow in that moment. So it's really working. Also reindeers knows that. Also my grandmother died 2 years ago. She was 94 years old, and when she died, she didn't have any gray hair. Her hair was totally black. But during her life, she didn't wash her hair, never, with a shampoo. She used to collect, do you know what is kanerva in English? It's a small bush with pink flowers. It's a juniper. Is it juniper? Maybe. Yeah, juniper. And she used to cook it, and with that liquid she used to wash her hair. And I don't know, it did something to her hair because she didn't get any gray. So, but I haven't tried it yet. Maybe I should start to use that now. So nature has been very important for us and still is, because reindeer herders, our reindeers live in the nature. Also we get fish from the nature, we get berries from the nature, so it's very important for us. And that's why we have a special joy how the children teach to look after the nature. So when we go to the forest, everything what we take there, we should bring back when we come home. So in this yoik, Mother Earth is calling her children and ask her children to look after the nature. Because if we destroy the nature around us, we will destroy ourselves. people.
I know. Is it because in Norway you have the coastal, we don't call them mountain Samis, it's the coastal Samis and the inland Samis and the south Samis and in this no, they're not very friendly to each other within the, especially the one with the reindeers, because they steal each other's reindeers and they kill each other's reindeers. Is it also like the competition about the reindeer? Is it also because it's about the grazing land? Because it's not the herds get too big and there's not enough food, and they actually start to get food in winter.
It's always like people believe always that their way of living is the right way to live, and the other way is the wrong way to live. So the same the mountain Sami and Lake Sami, because the mountain Sami were the reindeer herders, so they thought that they are better people because they have thousands of the reindeers. And Lake Sami people believe that they are better people because they live in real houses and they have something else. So today, I think there is not so big difference anymore. We have a lot of meetings between different Sami people and we are in good relationship. I think it was more in olden time, in the past, that the difference were really big, like my grandmother and my grandfather almost got a heart attack when my mother got married with my father, who was Lake Lapis, because of course she should take a mountain Sami people. But I was even worse because I didn't take Lapis boy at all. I found Mika from reindeer herding school and fell in love to the Finnish man, and he was not Lapis at all, so I was even worse. But I think in that time it was already easier to forgive, to take a husband or a wife from different stripe of Sami, and it was not so difficult. It was, I think, more difficult in the past.
And politically, the Lapland is a part of the. You have like
No.
It's not like in Norway where you have the Lappi.
I know, yeah, you have, but in Finland we don't have. We have a Sami parliament, but that's more institute which can give advices to the Ministry of Finland, but they can't really make decisions at all. But I think in Lapland it used to be more in past that people thought more, are they Lapis or are they Finnish? But I think now people live together, they're friends, they, like the young people don't even think, are you Sami or are you Finnish? They just go ahead and have a good time together. So it's, I think that there's so many mixtures, and also there's foreign people who move to northern Lapland. Then there's a special yoik what we use when we wish to our friends a good luck. In this yoik I wish that the sunshine will shine your road wherever you go, and the warmness that I feel in my heart will warm your life wherever you are. Suomi melte, ehtsämme lajimelte. Suomi melte, ihtana käy. Lela lela, lela lela, lela lela. Lela lela, lela lela. Lela lela, lela lela. So, if there is not any questions, we have a little Lapland shop in our house. So before we go back to the bus, it's possible to visit there if you want. But of course, if you have any questions, go ahead. All right. Now it has time to thank you for your visit, and we can go back to the house. Thank you very, very, very much. So, now it has come time to say goodbye. I hope that you all have enjoyed your visit in our Reindeerpark and you have got some new experience to your life. The last thing I want to teach you is to say goodbye in Sami language. Vaina läpmai. Vaina läpmai. Kiihtu Vietnamis. Thank you for coming. Vaina läpmai. Goodbye.
Goodbye.